Yeah, what's happening? It's your boy Salute, and I just jumped off the Porch with Dirty Glove Bastard. Yeah.
Ay, rich nigga. Ay, she want a rich nigga. Yeah. Pop that Boosie for her.
Yes, sir. We right back at it, y'all. We got the one and only Salute jumping off the porch with us today. What's up, bro?
What's happening with it, man? Appreciate you for having me,
Yes,
man.
sir. For sure, bro, man. Appreciate you pulling up on us, man.
For sure.
Yeah, man. So, just to get started, bro, you know, you got this new single that just dropped, Rich, featuring BeatKing.
Yep.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, how did that come about, bro?
Man, just, you know, I got a lot of connections out there in Houston. You know, started out my brother E-Rock, and then it led to my other OG Bone, and he kind of knew them from past relationships. We went to his crib, and within 15 minutes, it was history, bro.
I can dig it, man. And it's like, man, BeatKing don't miss.
Oh, he don't. Bullseye every time.
I'm telling you, bro. I mean, he got like club anthems after anthems, bangers after bangers, man.
Right.
And it's crazy because I saw that he showed on Instagram recently, like almost like a formula, you know what I mean, that like some producers, you know, some artists even go about to create, you know, some of these hits, man. So it's almost like he got it locked down to a science. Right,
and to see that up close and personal, that shit was hard. I ain't gonna lie to you, it was dope to see it up close. But like he said, he a talented motherfucker that be working.
Yeah.
He ain't lying, so it was dope to work with BeatKing. Shout out to BeatKing.
Right, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. But definitely want to, you know, tap into your story, man, and you know, get into your origins, and you know, give the audience the opportunity to understand like what made Salute who he is, you know what I mean, who you are. So you're originally from Birmingham?
Yep, Birmingham, Alabama. Small city outside called here in town, but Birmingham for the most part, yep.
Okay, word. And what was it like growing up? What's the name of the city?
Harrytown.
Harrytown, okay.
Yeah,
what was it like growing up in Harrytown?
Man, it was hard, man. Especially looking at a nigga like that growing up. That my OG cousin, Limp, my brother Will right there, the OG, watching them niggas grow up.
Yeah.
Just surviving that lifestyle, man. It was just dope, just to learn a lot from them and just do that shit my own way, you know what I'm saying?
Nah,
flip it into music.
Word, I can dig it. And what type of kid was you coming up, bro? Like what was you into?
I was bad as hell, bro. I was bad, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Like when I was 9, I flipped my go-kart, split my shit over, 180 stitches, three surgeries, I almost died. So I thank God I made it through that situation. But yeah, I was a bad kid, man. But I think that's what molded me into who I am now, why I got so much to talk about. So,
word,
yeah,
I can dig it, man.
Sure.
So I mean, so from early on, you wasn't scared to take chances.
Nah, man. Like I'm the one that'll do a no-hand backward flip off a car and break my leg or break my arm or do something crazy. But you know, my mama kind of started honing in on me after that go-kart accident, but I still used to sneak and do my thing though.
Right.
Yeah,
I could dig it. And so, I mean, you mentioned, you know, having big brothers, so obviously, you know, you had mentors, you had, you know, people like giving you the game as you was coming up. I mean, what was that, you know, experience just like growing up with your brothers, and, you know, like, was you following behind them trying to do what they was doing?
Yeah, man, it's crazy because I watched my brother, he do pretty much the same shit I do other than music, but sports, basketball, he like to draw. That's what got me into art, poetry. Okay. So your influences on your life matter, you know what I'm saying? So my brother was a big influence on that, you know. My cousins, you know, my grandma had 20 kids, so there's a bunch of my cousin bred over there. There's a lot of us, and you're gonna see a lot more of us pulling up. But yeah, man, we just a family that just tried to carry that into music and make it mean something, you know what I'm saying?
You know, it's interesting, bro, because, you know, like, it seemed like that generation of our grandmothers, you know what I'm saying, like my family, it was like 12, maybe 13, 14, you know what I mean, aunts and uncles, you know what I mean, and you know, it's crazy because you don't really see that as much today, but you know, back then, your family was really your community. Was really, you know what I mean?
Right, that shit was normal back in the day. Like, and they raised the community. Like,
for sure.
Like your neighbor could give you a whooping back in the day. You know, but you know, it's all cool because to have a big family, you got a lot of people to learn from, and coming from a small city like here in town, Birmingham, like you kind of learn from their mistakes as well. So you kind of add it to your sauce and try to make it do what it do. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
Yeah.
And so I heard you mention from early on, you know, you was interested in the arts, and I also know that like you were in like drama, like stage plays, and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. I went to a school. Shout out to Zinneman Elementary, man. I went to Zinneman Elementary, man. It ain't even now no more. They tore it down, but every year we had a stage play where we had to learn a favorite character, and we had to act it out on stage. Every year we had to learn a new book. So that's what kind of got me into acting and into doing music, that type of shit, because they challenge us to do it, get in front of people, talk. You know, that's why I'm so comfortable in front of the camera, because I've been doing this since I was about 5 years old, before the camera was even popped out. So shout out to Zenderman and all the schools. They're really teaching these kids, man, for real.
No, for sure, man. I think coming from these environments that we come from, you could kind of go one or two ways when it comes to being presented, you know, like with the arts and you know, doing theater or plays, you know, acting, things like that. On one end, you might look at it like, man, this some BS. Like, I ain't trying to, you know what I mean? Like, that's soft. That's, you know what I mean? But then on another end, I feel like for a lot of us, that is almost an outlet for us from the norms of what we dealing with. What did you find that?
Man, absolutely. I'm so glad you brought, that's a dope topic, because like everybody need a way to express themselves. Some people ain't got music. Some people ain't got, you know, drawing or whatever you feel like your artistic gift is, or where you express yourself. We all need to let some shit out. And to be able to do it through music is a gift. So I encourage everybody, if you got a passion or some shit you want to do, drawing, skateboarding, it don't matter what it is, man, get it out.
Yeah. No, absolutely, absolutely. And at what age would you say you jumped off the porch?
Shit, by 5, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna lie, that nigga ain't doing no snitching, but, you know, I saw my brother do a lot of shit. You know, my brother, like 10 years older than me, so, you know, growing up during that time, it was like Frank Lucas, you know what I'm saying? A lot of that going on, so I saw that, and that's why I have so many stories. Because even if I didn't do it, I saw my brother doing it, or I had to do it, you know, to make it out, you know, in Birmingham and in Houston when I moved to Houston too. So it's the same rules apply in every state, you know.
Right, no, like I can dig it. And did you grow up in a dynamic? Did you have both parents in the home, or?
Man, nah. My pop died in the military. He died. My mom was like 6 months pregnant with me, so. I ain't know what it was like to have no dad in the house. The streets with my daddy and that nigga behind me, you know, all my OG cousins. So, and the lessons that I learned from, you know what I mean? So that's what my daddy was.
No, for sure. No, and I asked that too, bro, because, you know, I have a dynamic where my brother is 8, 9 years older than me. And so I know I always revere him. Like, I looked at him like my pops, because I didn't grow up with my pops either. So, you know, so just wanting to know, you know, if that was the same sort of dynamic.
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, when you look up to people, you still like, it's kind of like a father figure, like you say, you know what I'm saying? Like whether it's a God, pop, a coach, teacher, you know what I'm saying? So to have a big brother, somebody that can fill that role, that still kind of help you become the man you need to be. I think God make everything happen for a reason, so just to have somebody you can lean on is good. You straight, you blessed, for real.
No, for sure. And, you know, again, just, you know, knowing like the environments that we grow up in, and how it's, you know, so easy to be influenced, you know, by so many things.
Right.
What made you have such an individual type of approach and be willing to kind of do your own thing that might have been outside the norm of what we were saying?
That's a good ass question. Having so many people around and seeing that they had so much potential and didn't do it, it made me be like, man, what would it look like to keep trying and not quit? You know what I'm saying? So I started holding myself more accountable. You know what I'm saying? I think that was one of the most key things that I did with myself, because everybody in my family got talent. We got singers, rappers, you know, everything, you know, carpenters, whatever. But I think whatever you put your mind to the most, that's what you're gonna win at. I just decided not to lose at this shit.
All right, so Salute, when did you find your love for music?
Man, probably when I was about 11, you know, having so many different influences around, watching movies, you know what I'm saying? I kind of got into it early, from poetry though.
Right.
I started out writing poetry, you know, like I said, by my elementary school, they were big on like memorizing poems and that type of shit. So they kind of got me into the music side kind of early, about 11.
Word. And some of your early poems, what were they about? What were the
love,
topics?
you know when you're young, you in love. You're the first little girlfriend.
What they call it, puppy love?
It was called My First Love. Some cliche shit. But it was hard though, you know. You got my girlfriend at the time, so that's why I knew it worked for me. And then when I read it in front of the class, the little girls were like, oh, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do that. So that shit was hard. And just to connect with people on a level, you saw that you can move people through words. That's what really got me into it though, for real.
I could dig it. And who were some of your influences coming up?
Definitely Pac first. Scarface.
Okay.
Let's see. Ice Cube, yeah, of course, yes, Ice Cube. 50, of course.
Yeah.
T.I.
Yeah.
Outkast. Ghetto Boys, Fifth Ward Boys.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out Fifth Ward Boys. Like a lot of the original hip hop. I go back to that old school stuff because in order to build something, you gotta know where that shit started.
Yeah, no.
So that's what I be trying to tell all the artists that I work with. Like, hey man, when you know where something started, you kind of get them their respect, and you can kind of build on that.
No, for sure. And I know having an older brother, you were also exposed to music that probably people even in your age range.
What that nigga say, Ice Cube.
Right. People wasn't even up on.
Right. Yeah. Ice Cube was the first person that really stuck with me because he loved NWA.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So Cube pen was crazy. So that's what really got me into writing.
Yeah. No, Cube was ill, man, because he was, he was so intelligent, you know what I mean, and like so aware at a time where, the only people that were aware or woke, had a certain look to them or a certain vibe to them. So I think he really opened the door to let like real niggas know, you know what I mean, that we need to be aware of what's going on and not have our heads in the clouds.
For sure. Cube made people be okay with saying how they feel. You know what I'm saying? Like that No Vaseline record, like one of the greatest. You know what I'm saying? So when you start talking about lyricists and people that's one of the bricks in the foundation of hip hop, you gotta go to Cube. Yeah. One of the people. But I love all like people that that started some shit. Like Outkast, like when Dre was like, we got something to say, the South got something to say, we do got something to say.
For sure.
So shout out Outkast, man. Dre was a big influence of mine. Devin the Dude, I got my first run, E-Rock kind of gave me my walk in the game, and then he introduced me to Devin the Dude. Right. And Devin, like every rapper's, your favorite rapper's favorite rapper.
Yeah,
so just to see his work ethic behind the scenes.
That's my favorite rapper.
I got a whole album of material I ain't even released with Dev yet.
Wow.
So we finna get into that. We got one single out called All Night though that we finna start doing another resurgence of pushing on since it's 420, you know what I'm saying? Sure. But shout out my big bro Dev, man. E-Rock,
No, that's what's up, man. And I saw somewhere where you said that Devin taught you everything that you know about the music business, or gave you a lot of game.
Yeah, on the mainstream side, because I had been doing it for a while, and I had been learning a lot on my own. But when you look at people that's getting paid to do it, it's a different way than trying to get paid to do it. And Devin was the first person him and E-Rock was the first people that I saw in the studio making their passion turn into money. Right. And it made sense, you know what I'm saying? Going out grinding, passing out flyers and connecting with DJs, shaking hands, how you do interviews like this. Yeah. Relationship worth more than money. That's what I learned and paraphrase from being around them.
Nah, for sure. Official coffee brother.
Yeah, coffee brother. Shout out all my coffee brothers out there, man. H-time, man.
Yeah, that's real. That's what's up. That's what's up. And do you remember any advice, any game, in particular that he shared with you that really stood out?
Don't get too high, don't get too low. And I think that was some of the most crucial advice he gave me because knowing that, you can get a little success, you ain't never felt it before. You can start smelling yourself a little bit. Yeah. But to see how the OGs handle it, it taught me, again, learning from my brother and then learning from OG like Devin and E-Rock, taught me how to handle myself when it came time to be what I call Triple H, humble, hungry, and hardworking. Right. That's my recipe to success. That's my motto, humble, hungry, hardworking. Watch out for them shirts on the way. Humble, hungry, hardworking.
Right. Now that's what's up, man. Yeah. And when you started recording for the first time, recording music for the first time, what were some of the topics of the music? Like what was you talking about? Man,
my mama, growing up and just seeing how hard she worked and then being a fan of Tupac. Yeah. Dear Mama was one of the hardest records I ever heard, and I'm sure people agree with that. And so one of the first songs I did was called Hard Working Mamas. You know what I'm saying? When my Uncle Cut sang it, her brother sang it on the hook. And to this day, people remember that song in my hood. So that's kind of what got me started.
Yeah. Nah, that's what's up, man. And was your mom a fan of you doing music? Was she supportive early on?
Oh my God, like, shout out to my mom. She passed 4 years ago too. Right before COVID. But yeah, man, she used to always say, "You gonna make it, but I ain't gonna see you to do it." And I used to be like, "Man, don't say that." And then it's crazy. Ironically, as soon as she passed, like it just started happening. Like she knew something I didn't know. So yeah, she always supported me and knew that I was a star before I was. For sure.
Nah, for sure, man. I mean, she gave you that energy and then kept the energy with you as being your guardian angel. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Nah, I can dig it. All right. So at what point, when you were recording your music, did you know that you had something where you knew that this was something that you really wanted to do and needed to stick to?
Well, I did a song called when I turned like 15, 16. That's when I started getting into burning that grass. And that's when my mind kind of opened up, to be honest with you. And then I did a song called Chunky Green Sticky. They kind of got around the hood with my boy Bulletproof from the West Side, man. You know, when I had moved to West End, we tapped in, did a little song, and they went crazy. And when people start coming up reciting my song to me, I'm like, okay, yeah, I can do it. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I knew when people started to appreciate it as much as I did.
No, for sure. No, that's what's up. I mean, it's got to be a whole just a crazy feeling when, you know, you doing your music and, you know, you and your partners, you know, might know the words, but then somebody who might not know you or even just other cats in the neighborhood that's really taking a listen is, you know, like damn near paying homage by, you know what I mean, rapping your lyrics.
Yeah, that shit, it's humbling, bro. It's so humbling. I think that's what keeps all artists going, whether they admit it or not. Yeah. Just getting not necessarily validation, but getting appreciation from the crowd, because you ain't in the studio all the mile for nothing. Yeah. You know, spending your bread doing all this. So you want to get people to come back, hey man, that shit hard. Whether, you know, whether they like it or not, or they just appreciate what the hell you just gave them. So for somebody to just come back and give you any positive feedback is always motivation.
Wow. And at what point did you know that you wanted to go to the military? Like, how did that come about?
Oh man. Well, it wasn't a choice. You know, like I said earlier, my pop died when my mama was 6 months pregnant. So I'll be honest with you, I was scared to go to the Army my whole life, you know what I'm saying? But God had a different plan for me. When I got old, I caught a case. And I was in college at the time. My grades were so good, the prosecutor happened to be a recruiter, Carolyn Grubbs. Shout out to Carolyn Grubbs, man. So the Fed case I caught, it was either 8 years in the military or 8 years in jail, because I had like a 3.8 GPA at the time. And I was just trying to do what we do to survive, to pay my little college shit, you know what I'm saying? But I got caught up. And luckily I was able to get that deal, and rest was history. Yeah. That's how the name Salute was born.
Word. And it's interesting, bro, because, you know, the standard that, you know, a lot of people, especially the old school generation that raised us, go by is, you know, go to college, get a career, you know, all that. Right. But people don't really know how difficult it even is trying to go to college and living through student loans and, you know, waiting for, you know, the semester to start so you can get your little refund check that you know, that you get from that, or, you know what I mean? Or having the jug, you know what I'm saying? So that you can pay for books and pay for your, you know, meals and all that. Yeah, because I mean, I remember being in college and I was doing everything from selling throwback jerseys to I was buying sneakers from this cat in Japan. I was just selling a little weed, just trying to do any and everything to get through it. But people don't understand that. They even think that going to college, you know how people be like, oh, college boy. But it's like, man, if you really knew the trials and tribulations that I even had to go through within this.
For sure. I mean, to maintain the college, then you got school on top of it. You still got
to go to class.
Yeah. You think about it, in high school, you ain't got none of that going on. Right. But you add all the components of being an adult to that, and it coming from my environment, most of us ain't got it like that. So we got to do what the hell we got to do to survive. You know what I'm saying? So, shit, you know, if you get caught up, you know, trying to do something positive, man, I can't be mad at you, because I was one that did it too. So some people don't get caught up. Some people just slide all the way through. That's why I always get that both dynamic in my music. I don't just talk about the winning side. I talk about the neutral side, the other side, and, you know, the bad side. I want people to see the full spectrum of life, for real.
Nah, for sure. And where'd you go to college?
I went to ITT Tech, man. Okay. I was a bit like the arts took me into engineering.
Okay, word.
And then, like, I didn't realize you couldn't get a full ride to a technical school. So all my scholars, because I had about 5 scholarships when I graduated. Yeah. I ain't want to leave the crib because my little girlfriend at the time, and I ain't want to leave my mama, for real, and my mama and my brother. So I wanted to stay close. So I stayed at ITT Tech, and God had a different plan, like, boy, you got to get out of here. So then from there, you joined the Army, and did you immediately go to Texas? Or? Well, my duty station was in Texas, Fort Hood, Texas. So when I got to the military, it was just second nature to just stay there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I built so many relationships going back and forth to Houston, first and foremost. Like, if I was somewhere other than Birmingham, I'd be from H-Town. So shout out all my H-Town people, man. Yeah. That's why I got recognized in music. Yeah. E-Rock walked me in the door, and then from there was all love to Slim Thug, to Paul Wall. I got records with all those guys that taught me so much. So shout out to Houston, for sure.
So I heard you say earlier that Scarface was one of your influences and one of your favorite rappers. How did it feel when you got the opportunity to meet him, but then do some music with him?
Man, bro, I still don't believe it. For real, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's still like, you know what I'm saying? Like, a dream for me. It's so humbling because when the whole time we in the studio, I'm like, damn, bro, that Face. You know what I'm saying? Like I look at Face in the same light as Pac. You feel me? So
for sure.
To be able to get on a record with him, the record called Plantation Mentality. We got a remix, a new version is about to drop song 2. Y'all stay tuned for that with OG Scarface. But yeah, man, it was humbling, bro.
Yeah.
And it made me want to work harder.
For
put some oil in that engine, made me want to be like, you know, because I was watching the DVD with Kanye. I'm like, damn, bro, went in the studio with Ye and didn't do the record.
Right.
For whatever reason, what it was, you know. So that's what humbled me. Yeah. I'm like, that's Jay, somebody that I really look up to musically. And that made me know that I gotta keep going just for that reason right there.
And the song Plantation Mentality, I mean, like it's a song of true substance. Right. You know what I mean? Like y'all really talking about something in that song. Whose idea was it to even do a song like that? Because most of the time when you get with a big feature, a lot of times people thinking like, man, let me make a party record or let me make something that's, you know, that's gonna maybe play in the club or that's just gonna vibe. But like, what made you want to do a real record of substance with Face? Because
I knew that's what bro was known for. And once I created the record, it took me back to answer the first question. I got up out my bed probably about 2 in the morning. You know, just went straight in. I finished that song about 30 minutes, both verses. And I think what made Face want to be a part of the record and what made me choose him was because he was known for that authenticity in his music.
Absolutely.
And touching that same core fan base. And I wanted to kind of bridge that gap between the older people and the younger people. Yeah. And bring some substance back in the shit we doing. And what we talking about, we got to bring some balance, man.
No, for sure. I mean, Scarface, the Ghetto Boys, I mean, they were really like giving that real authentic street commentary.
For real.
You know what I mean? Telling you the good, the bad, the ugly.
For real, for real.
So on Plantation Mentality, you start out the song, you say, how can you fix a problem if you can't acknowledge that?
Right.
And that's something that's so relevant now because, you know, I mean, that just goes into accountability.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And being able to, you know, recognize a problem, but then, you know, taking that and then working on fixing it.
Right.
know?
Yeah, it's crazy. Hey, y'all, what was the name of the last song I did?
Wow.
So I'm big on that, you know, like the name of, like the motto in my company, it ain't about who's right, it's what's right. And that's like the principle accountability. So man, like being able to make that applicable in music, that's why I do music, accountability. And I feel like that's the core ingredient to win in anything, y'all. You gotta hold yourself. You can't tell nobody shit if you can't tell it to yourself. Yeah. For real. Straight up.
I can dig it. Do you think when you first got into that bit of trouble when you you know, had to make the decision and go to the military, were you able to hold yourself accountable even in times like that to understand like what you did and what the consequences were?
Yeah, man, like I don't blame nobody, you know what I'm saying, for, you know, how my life turned out. I knew I was just doing, like we all know, coming from the streets, whether you selling dope or doing whatever you're doing, there's consequences to it. So I was okay with it, you know, because I always look at it could have been worse. You know, could have been worse, and the fact that it didn't turn out worse, you know, let me know that it turned out exactly how God wanted it to turn out. So, yeah, man.
No, for sure. And then, you know, just speaking to, you know, you being able to be diverse in your music. I mean, you go from a song like that to then a song like 25, you know, with Boosie, you know, even to, you know, current, you know, your song Rich with BeatKing, you know, just being able to just give such a diverse message, but it all still coming into one place, you know what I mean? And about like, you know, knowing yourself, you know, and all that. How important is it for you, you know, to keep that type of message in your music, even when it's a fun record?
Right. I'm glad you asked that too. The whole thing with Salute represent like camouflage. Like I feel like music is a journal. Every day you feel different.
That's real.
So one day I want to go to the club. So that's BeatKing. That's, you know, Slim Thug. You know, all the records that people that I respect in that arena. Next day I might want to talk about some real shit. That's Scarface. That's my nigga Boosie. It might be in a more crunk way. But like you say, keeping that same essence in it and letting people see who Salute is while I'm collaborating with these dope ass artists. So shout out to Boosie too, man. That been going crazy on Spotify. Shout out OG. For sure.
No, for sure. I mean, then you had G.O.D., Guns, Oil, and Drugs. Yeah. You know, better watch what you feed your soul. Yeah. You said that on there.
Yeah, man. He did his research, man. I appreciate that, brother. I really appreciate that. Yeah, man, I really take time into putting something in my music so when people listen to it, they ain't just getting that from it. Yeah. Because I feel like the most important thing that you can give anybody is your time.
Absolutely.
So if somebody take the time to listen to your music or to, you know, to show you some appreciation for the stuff you love, you got to show that love back, man.
Yeah.
And I think that's why Pac stuck with so many people.
Nah,
because
for sure.
he focused on that.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like what made Pac so dope and separated him from everybody was that he could touch so many different topics, but then he didn't have a problem with even admitting the fact that maybe some of his messages were conflicting.
Right.
But to what you said, one day I feel this way. You know, one day I might feel like slapping somebody else.
Right. We human.
One day I might be doing my breathing techniques and be on point and being zen. You know what I mean?
One day I might want to eat a salad. One day I might want a steak. One week I might want to go vegan.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I just respect everybody. Why? Because you don't know why they doing it. You know what I'm saying? So I think being able to be fluid like that, be water like Bruce Lee say.
Yeah.
It allows you to stretch your arms and not be constricted to one area. You know what I'm saying?
Word. What do you feed your soul?
Positivity, confidence, love. You got to love yourself first.
Yeah.
Meaning like holding yourself accountable, whether that's going to the gym or talking to your family or eating better or, you know, whatever that is, you know, just focusing on that, being a better version of yourself so you can go do what the hell you need to do in the world. Whether it's be a mom, dad, you know, football player, you got to take care of yourself first, for sure.
Nah, that's what's up, man. And you dabbled in some acting too as well,
Oh,
right?
yeah, man. I've been in quite a few movies, man. Shout out to Common. I did Selma with Common.
Okay.
I did Bessie with Queen Latifah. Shout out Queen Latifah. Most of these roles I started out as being an extra. But this is how I knew it was meant for me. Like, I'll be in the room being an extra, and before it's done, I'm on a part of the cast. That's how I started with Bessie. Right. I started as a what you call a extended extra, where they extended me for a few days, and then Queen Latifah picked me from like 4 more other people, and then I was a part of the cast. So I've been blessed to be a part of some dope movies: Fast and Furious 7, Godzilla, and I'm finna get back into producing my own movies as well through music. My first film that I'm shooting gonna be called The Soldier's Heartbeat Music. It's about my dad's story, you know what I'm saying, about him starting the music. Because the reason why he joined the Army was for music. I can't tell y'all too much, but the story gonna be crazy to see it all come to life and see it to transition into where I'm at now to music.
Right. Nah, that's ill, man. What would you say is one of the biggest life lessons that you've learned to date?
Oh man, being humble. Being humble, being able to listen more than you talk, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like the more you listen, the more knowledge you can get, you know. You can't receive no knowledge if you're talking. So I feel like the biggest thing is know when to, you know, let your mouth stay closed and your ear do the working. Nah,
for sure, for sure. And how important is discipline, you know, to you, you know, in your life, in your everyday life?
Oh man, I would definitely say that's what I learned from the military. Cause nigga, you getting up at 4:30 every morning, you don't want to.
Right.
And then like that becomes like routine, and that rubs off in other areas. So I feel like discipline is the most important ingredient in anything you're doing in life, y'all. You gotta, and that's the accountability, being disciplined within yourself so you can do whatever you're trying to do.
Yeah.
So.
No, for sure. And then you also, you do like, you teach acting classes as well, right? Or workshops?
Yeah, I have little acting workshops in some of my studios with some of the actors we get together. We do little read-throughs when they want to go over their lines and stuff like that. So I just try to stay sharp like that. Yeah. Even when I'm in the music arena, I try to stay sharp by just working with them, helping them out however I can. Yeah.
No, I can dig it. And then you also are into like personal training?
Oh yeah, man. I got banged up pretty bad in the Army, man. I broke like 3-4 bones in my back. Okay. So that's what got me into rehabilitate my body, because I went with that surgery shit. They were trying to put them rods in my back. I'm like, no, what's the other alternative? Yeah. And then I started looking at Dr. Sebi. That's what got me into being vegan. Okay. Natural healing and stuff like that. So I was like, man, if God got it on earth, let me use that first.
Yeah. How long have you been vegan?
8 years, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, 8 years.
So is that why you got an 8-pack?
I guess, because I had a kid before me, but yo, I ain't gonna lie, like being vegan really changed, you know, first it changed your mind, and then you start to see it happening in your body. Yeah. But man, it's like that third eye they talking about. Like, I don't never push veganism on nobody, because my wife going vegan was because my mom got diagnosed with cancer right before she passed. So me and my brother vegan, and that's like our dedication to her. Word, okay. You know what I'm saying? So everybody got their why, man. So you just make sure your why means something.
No, I can dig it, man. People never understand the discipline, or people. I mean, how can I try to say this? Like the discipline that it takes to, you know, be vegan, to change your lifestyle, to, you know, be so committed to, you know, working out and you know, making sure that your temple is on point.
Sure.
You know, that's a whole nother level. I
sure.
mean, I lost 65 pounds in the last like year and a half.
For real?
So, yeah.
What you were doing?
I just started eating clean. I started out by walking 3 miles a day.
That's hard.
I'm always been big on sweets, so I completely, you know, cut that out, like the Reese cups, the
Right.
sodas,
Yeah.
the ginger ales, you know,
Yeah.
all that. And then I probably lost about 40 pounds, 35, 40 pounds, and then I started lifting
Right.
and started, you know, like doing that more than the cardio, and just been maintaining it. But it's an everyday struggle.
Oh,
you know
man.
what I mean?
So I want to salute you on that journey, my boy, because like that discipline. So you know something about discipline
Absolutely.
too. So some morning you get up, you're like, man, I ain't got it today, bro. I just don't feel like, but to remember your why, that's what keep you going. So I want shout out to you for doing that, bro.
Nah, for sure.
Health is wealth, bro. It's,
Man,
more important than any money you can go pick up.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
man. I had a situation a few weeks ago where I got invited out to this to like an artist dinner,
Right.
And I'm the only one there with big old plate of salad and the fruit and all that. Then I just got off of a 30-day challenge I did for myself, not to smoke and not to drink alcohol.
Right.
So I'm there and everybody offered me something to drink. Then they like, let's go to the club later. Go to the club. We in the section. They ordering wings, 6 bottles, all that.
Oh, they going hammer.
Yo, going crazy. And the guy that was hosting it, he came over to me and he was like, bruh, for you to be in here and not tapping into none of this, man, like that's a whole nother, he was like, man, I wish to get to that, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I tell people, it's like, it's an everyday struggle. It ain't easy. I ain't sitting here doing this and just,
Right.
you know what I mean?
That's dope, man,
Yeah.
because like that shows how much you give a damn about yourself too.
Yeah.
Because everybody got their reason why they ain't doing
Yeah,
it, whether it's
yeah.
spiritual health reasons or just I just want to be better.
Oh yeah.
So man, people respect that, man.
Yeah.
Even when people see you moving like that, people ain't really big on what you saying. So when
Yeah.
you moving like that,
yeah.
you ain't gotta say that. You're actually doing it for you.
And that was a part of my healing process. So I lost my mom to cancer right around COVID as well.
Wow, sorry to
Same
hear that,
tip,
bro.
yep.
Wow.
I was her caretaker and all that. So then after the fact, went to a dark space, but then came up out of that and was like, all right, I'm about to change my life in so many different ways. And that pushed and forced my discipline. You know what I
Wow,
mean?
that's so our why kind of the same.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, when you got a why that strong, you know it's connected to God.
Yeah, absolutely.
I even tell people, they like, man, how you deal with, you know, dealing with losing your mom? You know, I said, you know, everything happened for a reason. It didn't happen to me, it happened for me.
Right.
You know, so when you look at it like that, life is about perception, and when you perceive shit a different way, you can understand like, man, that thing ain't about me. I'm just a small part in,
Yeah.
you know, what God got going on, man.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, I salute you, bro.
Yeah.
Cause like, know our why connected. That's hard.
Yeah,
That's hard.
yeah, nah, for sure, bro,
Sure.
for sure. Nah, absolutely, man. What's some advice that you give, you know, what advice would you give the younger version of yourself that was growing up and coming up in Birmingham?
Focus on being true to yourself and don't quit, being consistent, you know, and that's something that I learned later. And be confident in yourself, man. Believe in yourself first, because you can't expect nobody to believe in it if you don't believe in it. So I think we all have our issues with working on our self-confidence, but to tell younger salute, like, boy, believe in yourself, boy, you got that too, boy, keep going. So yeah,
Nah,
that's
for
what I would
sure.
tell myself for sure.
Nah, man, for sure. I mean, looking in that mirror, giving yourself them affirmations,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, doing that. Like, yeah, for
Absolutely.
sure. I wish I would have been up on that as a younger
sure.
cat, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Yeah,
Because
for
it makes you more of a respectable man when you get over. Because people, like I say, people see how you move. You ain't got to say nothing.
Right.
When people see what you're doing. For sure.
Nah, absolutely. So we talked about earlier, you know, having a strong, you know, family structure and all that around you. How important is it to have a strong team in place, you know, with, you know, within your career, within life, you know?
Wow, man, that's probably one of the dopest questions I heard, because the team is the most important thing that you got. You ain't got nobody to help you push the buttons. You ain't got nothing. Like I tell people, man, how relationship worth more than money. So I feel like my blessing was my grandma having 20 kids. So it's a lot of looking for Plug, like, shout out DJ Plugg over there.
Yes,
Plug, like, what? Yeah, shout out my dog DJ Plugg. He one of my managers, man. That really helped me with a lot. But yeah.
Oh yeah, Plug, that's family right there.
Yeah, man, but yeah, I mean, my grandma having 20 kids really taught me how to appreciate different things and look at it from a different light, and having them around to look like a team, but it's really my family. So it's really important. So we literally went from the streets to now we got trades where we going into real estate and we doing music. So to do it all with your family, that's why we make this shit fun, man. That's my why for my family.
Okay, word. And so this next part, man, I want to call this the manifestation hour.
Okay.
And basically, man, I just want to ask you, bro, like, what you got coming up in the future, and what are some things that, you know, you're putting in place or that you're looking to, you know, make happen that you want to manifest?
I want to give back more to my city, you know, to Birmingham and to Houston. You know, I want to go buy a few of the old schools back there, teach kids trades. You know what I'm saying? It's more than just becoming a rapper, bro. Like, by me being on this real estate side, there's some people that's in Havoc and some other areas that making big boy bread, man. You ain't necessarily just gotta be rapping or doing that. So I wanna go back and show people different ways and give people opportunities, you know what I'm saying? Building houses, you know, teaching people how to dodge some of the shit we ran into in the street, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's through music or through them watching us, what we doing in the hood. So, man, that's one of my main focal points, giving back in different ways, bro, for real.
Word. No, that's what's up, man. And what else you got coming up, bro? What else can we be expecting from you?
Oh, the newest thing coming, I got an album coming with DJ Plugg. We still finna name that. I got several new singles on the way. I got a single coming with Paul Wall. I got a new single, the remix coming with Scarface. I got another record coming with Baby Bash. I got a lot of new stuff coming. And just be looking out for it, man. It's on the way.
Yeah. Nah, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. And you got any shout outs you want to give, bro?
Yeah, man. Shout out to E-Rock. Shout out to my manager, Tampa Mystic. Shout out to DJ Plugg. Shout out to all my team, everybody who support me and all the fans, man. We're going to keep smashing for y'all, for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, we got our boy Salute jumping off the porch with us, man.
Yes, sir. Your boy Salute. Tap in with me.
Ay, rich nigga. Ay, she want a rich nigga. Pop that pussy for a rich nigga.